Hello, I'm Caroline, and today I'm going to show you how to do this Spanish lacework bracelet by Loomiemama. This bracelet was an original hook-only design by Loomiemama, and I have translated it so that you can do it on 2 pegs. So your pens, your pencils, your mini loom, your monster tail, your regular rainbow loom, your finger loom, whatever you happen to have that is 2 pegs. Today I'm going to redo this orange bracelet. I'm going to do it in this pearly green color and white. So the pearly green will take the place of the orange and the white will still be white. And we'll come back to this bracelet later. So how this bracelet works is you start, whoops, that's the top. You start down here at the bottom with your cap band and a pair of whites. Then you do the orange on one side and the orange on the other side, and then hook together with the white. Orange on one side, orange on the other side, hook together with the white. And like I said a second ago, I'm going to do green instead of orange today. So here's my modified mini loom, and I'm going to make my crisscross. Actually, I'm going to scoot my camera because otherwise it focuses and refocuses on too much stuff. So this should keep the camera happier. So I've got my crisscross band. I'm going to put on 2 more white ones. And I'm going to loop the bottom white. Okay. Now I'm going to loop on one side only to do my one side of color. So I'm going to invert loop my white on one side, put on a green, there we go, loop the white, put on a green, loop the bottom green. And then I'm going to move these 3 greens over to the other side. So now what I've got going on here, let me fix the order here because I got them crossed up. Now I have 5 greens on one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 whites on the other side. And now we're going to go ahead and put green on our second side over here. So here's 1. And we're going to invert loop the white so we get underneath the top white and grab the bottom white and loop it over. We put on a second green, grab the bottom white and loop it over. And put on our third green, grab the bottom white and loop it over. And then we've got to move those 3 greens we just put on back to the other side. So lift those up, move them over. I put my thumb on there to keep them in the proper order. So now I have 5 greens on both sides. And now we are going to add the white. So I'm going to put on a white one. And I'm going to invert loop the second and third greens. So I'm going to get underneath the top green and grab up the second and third green on both sides. Get underneath the top green, grab the second and third green and loop them over. And then I'm going to get my second band and loop the bottom green on both sides. Okay. From this point, it differs from our bottom, but you're going to do it this way from here on out. You're going to move your white ones so that they're all on one side. At this point, it doesn't matter which side you do first. So I have green, green, white, 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 white on one side, and I have green, green on the other side. And I'm going to start with my 3 greens again. Put on 1 green, and I'm going to invert loop my top white. So I'm going to get underneath the top white, grab the second white, and loop it over. And on the other side, I'm going to grab the bottom green and loop it over. Okay, I'm going to put on a second green one. And I'm going to grab the top white and the bottom green. And then I'm going to put on another green. And on the empty side, the side we've been looping on, we're going to loop another green. So now I have green, green on one side, and the other side I have green, green, white, white, green, green, green. And I'm going to move these three green that we just put on back to their partners on the other side. So I'm going to get under. I like to move all three at once, but you can move them one at a time if you want to. If you move them one at a time, you move the top one first, then the middle one, and then the bottom one, like so. And then we have to move our whites over, and we're going to repeat what we just did on this side. So now we're going to loop green ones off of this side and white ones off of this side. So you put on a green, and we're going to invert loop the white. Okay, so this one that is looking like it's on top, that's really the bottom one just because of the way that the rubber bands are sitting on the loom. So I'm going to get under my top white and grab this bottom white and loop it over. And then on this side I'm going to grab the bottom green and loop it over. I'm going to put on another green, and I'm going to loop the white on this side and the green on this side. Okay, put on another green and loop from the side that I've been taking the greens off of already. Uh-oh. Okay, you see here I have a problem. I didn't manage to get this loop over both of my teeth. So now I'm going to go in here and grab all three of them so that I can get that bottom one back on so that when I loop it, I can get it over both pegs. So now I have two greens on the empty side, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 greens on the other side. And I got to move these top three greens that I just put on back to their partners on the other side. So I'm going to grab all three at once because that's how I like to do it. Grab it off. I'm going to put my thumb on them here while they're in the right order so that I can, when I loop it around, they're still in the same order. Or if they get out of order, I can put them back in order. And now I have 5 greens on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of mine are sitting on top of each other, so it doesn't really look like 5. But there's 5 there on both sides. Okay, so now I'm going to join them up. So I put on my white, and I'm going to go under my top green and grab my second and third greens with my hook and loop those over. Same on the other side. I'm going to go underneath my top green and grab my second and third greens and loop them over. Now I'm going to get my next white, and I'm going to grab the bottom green, or the top green, and loop it over on both sides. Okay. Now I'm going to, whoops, this is a lousy setup, but it's the best I can do camera-wise. I'm going to take the whites from one side and move them to the other side. And this is going to start our next sequence. So I'm going to put on a green. On the side with the whites, I'm going to go underneath the top white and grab the number 2 white and loop it over, and the bottom green on the other side. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put on my green, and I'm going to grab the top white and the bottom green and scooch them down and have my third green. And I'm going to grab the bottom green on the side that I've been looping the greens off of, scooch down and put my greens back all together. So the top 3 greens back over to their other halves on the other side. So now I have 5 greens on one side, and I've got white, white, green, green on the other side. And now I'm going to move my white, to the other side with my 5 greens, so that I have 5 greens and 2 whites over there. And I only have 2 greens on the other side. And we're going to work the other side of our motif. So here's our first green. We're going to invert loop the whites over here. So we're going to go underneath the top white and grab the second white and loop it over. And we're going to regular loop the green, the bottom green on the other side. Scoot your down. Put on another green. We're going to loop the remaining white and the remaining green on the other side. Scoot your down. Put on our third green and loop the bottom green on, oh, look at that. I've got that one, not on both pegs. Okay, so I just placed my third band, and I'm going to loop the bottom green on the empty side, the side I've been looping greens off of already. And now I'm going to move these top 3 green bands over here, back over here to their other halves. Okay, so that's another side together, and now we're going to put our white across again, our joiner uppers. So we're going to put on our first white. We are going to invert loop the second and third green bands on both sides. So we're going to go underneath the top green, grab our second and third greens in our hook or your fingers, and loop it over. Same on the other side. Get underneath the top green, grab the second and third greens with your hook, pull them through and loop it over. So I have green, 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 white on each side. Green, 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 white. And I'm going to put on another white one. And I'm going to loop the top green. All right. And now we got to put our whites on one side or the other to continue our next sequence. And actually, yeah. Now I'm going to show you how to tie this guy off. That's, we've done 1, 2, 3 sections. This is our third section, but I'm going to show you how to tie it off now. And you can go back to earlier in the video to the last time I had this to see what to do next. So if I were going to tie this off, what I would do is I would put on a third white and then just loop all of this stuff over the white, and then loop just all of this stuff on both sides over the white, and then I'd move one white to its other half on the other side, and then stick in my C-clip, and then I'd be good to go. Okay, we're going to go back to that example bracelet I showed you at the beginning. When you do this pattern on a hook, it comes out nice and perfectly aligned just because of the technique that it is. But when you do it on a loom, it comes off looking really messy, like this. Okay, you can tell the difference, like down here, it's like all nice and even. I didn't do this with a hook, I just fixed it. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. I'm going to start right here. So you can see, here's our pretty example. You can see that it's supposed to be, the middle is supposed to be on the inside here and short, and then the outside's supposed to be like taller on the outside but the same height on the inside. And so what we have to do is we have to find our middle, the middle of the bracelet, these two, this is the middle here, and then this is supposed to be the loop that's down on the bottom. So we got to find it with our hook or our fingers or whatever. There, I got it. And pull it down to where it's supposed to be. Because basically all that's keeping this where it is just the lay of the bands. This can be kind of tricky. I'm having problems with it. So there's that one. And you can see up here too that like this band is hiding over here and we have to get it out from over there. So now I've gotten it out from over there and I've gotten it, where it's supposed to be on this side, and we flip the bracelet over and oh, we've got problems over here too. So I got to find that front band from the middle and pull it down to where it's supposed to be. And there, now it's okay. And you're gonna have to go through the whole bracelet basically and do that to make sure that the bands are lying where they're supposed to lie. Now this one, we've got the outside band kind of tucking around in here like it's not supposed to be. So I gotta grab that one and kind of pull it out a little bit on both sides. And then it's going to be funky on the other side too. I'm going to have to, it's switched with the inside band here, so I got to get in there and find the inside band and pull it where it's supposed to be. Get the outside band where it's supposed to be. Oh, they're still crisscrossed. I must have looped it wrong because it's not going where it's supposed to go. Yeah, I must have looped it wrong because it's not going where it's supposed to go. Or yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's just the... Okay, this one's not down quite far enough. There. That's looking more right. It's just short on this side. Stretch it a little bit, helps them to even out on both sides. Oh, they're still crossed on this side. Or recrossed, one or the other. All right, there we go. Now it's looking like it's supposed to look. So you're going to have to go through your bracelet and fix those all the way down. See, I've fixed them all down here so that they're all in the right order on both sides. But I didn't do it on the top so that I could show you how to do it. You gotta get in there. Make sure that the middle band is in the middle where it's supposed to be. On the other side too. One side is usually too long and the other side is usually too short because of the way that you pull it off the loom. Maybe on a finger loom or something or a monster tail where it's going down the middle, you won't have that problem as badly, but on my mini loom where I'm constantly pulling it out the front, it's a problem. So there you have it. Spanish Lacework by Loomiemama on 2 pegs. Enjoy!